life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today. Times gone by, I've traded black dirt into clay. I thought my memories would end. One street over's now 1,000 miles away. When I close my eyes, I'm back to where I've been. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today. I took a walk one street over from my home, cracked and broken asphalt everywhere. I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I won't forget the lessons that I don't deserve. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I love today.
Hello, hello. I'm sitting here talking to my guests. I need to turn the mics on. I hear that all the time. LaVern, turn your microphones on. We can see you talking. Hey, this is LaVern. I'm U-Turn LaVern. This is one street over, and this is 1100 WSGI. Welcome to it. And we got the room full today, so we're going to have to share microphones and all the things. I was expecting Abigail, and Scott comes popping in from our VSO office, our Veteran Services Organization office. I'm all about the acronyms because, you know, we do nothing but acronyms in the education world. So anyway, VSO, Veteran Service Office. Scott, thank you for being here. Scott Irwin's here. And Abigail was sick this morning, you said.
I did. Got the text late last night.
Okay.
So I would rather she keep that at home.
Yes, we would rather she keep that at home, as a
We
matter
have
of
a
fact.
small office, and so
Yeah.
we're good.
I gotcha. But now I messaged Gwen Harder, full disclosure, one of my dear, dear friends for many, many years. And so I sent her, I was like, so Gwen, who's coming in? And she said, the ladies from Operation Stand Down. And she had told me that last month, and it had slipped my mind. And so do you want to introduce everybody for me? Because all I have is the ladies from Stand Down.
Right. Well,
So why don't you introduce them to me?
So I tell you what, I was Gwen and I were talking one day in the office, and I've worked with Stand Down before. We'll get into a little more what they do, but and I thought it'd be a great idea to have them come on to the show. I'm the subject matter person for what I do.
Yeah.
Sometimes because of the red tape and and rules and regulations, there are certain things we can't assist with or we have trouble helping with. And so when I've had veterans like that come in the office, he's homeless, he's on the street, it's 4 o'clock and it's 28 degrees outside.
Right.
What do I do? So that's when we do what we can immediately. But then I always, in the past, I've reached out to Operation Stand Down because mainly for the homeless side of assistance. But they provide many more resources than just that. And so thankful for Julie and Jamie for coming out and kind of just being here. I said this morning it was going to be a Q&A. Of course, introduce yourself. I know you're retired. You just retired from the military, the Army, was a medic. So want to learn a little more about you and also how long you've been at Stand Down, the resources you provide. For the listeners out there, what if they have questions or, I need some help with that, what do they do, who they call, things like that.
That's really funny because it's Julie. It's Jamie's sitting down. We were talking about what we do, and I said, my husband teaches criminal justice, and she's like, well, my daughter's interested. And I said, well, we'll talk to Scott because he's military. I didn't know you were too. Thank you. Are you military as well?
I'm the military spouse.
Okay, so thank you for serving. God bless you. Now, you're going to have to get on that microphone. You're going to have to pick which one you're going to use. Scott, why don't you slide that over there because that's going to pick up a little bit better. So as we kind of talk to them, you can slide it back. So, Jamie. So tell me a little bit about you and what's your last name. Pull that microphone right to you. Pull that microphone right. There you go. Got to get on that thing. All right.
Get close.
All right. There you go. Now I can hear you. And Jamie, what's your last name?
Hensel.
Hensel. Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And I appreciate all that you do. And you just retired from the military.
April 1st last year.
God bless you. Wow. That's amazing. You don't seem nowhere near old enough to have retired. That means you put in some years.
20 years and 21 days. But who's counting?
That is crazy. But who's counting, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. I love it. And you were a medic?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So where all have you been? Where all have you gone and done your work?
I came in 2005. I've been to Korea,
Wow.
Fort Bliss, El Paso, Texas, Fort Knox, Kentucky, Walter Reed in D.C., Fort Rucker. We went to Fort Rucker. I met my husband in El Paso. He went to pilot school, so we went to Fort Rucker, Alabama, and then we moved to Fort Campbell in 2012, and we've been here ever since.
My son served at Fort Bliss. He was there, I forget what years, but you never knew LaVern Vivio, did you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big army, but so you're Army.
Yes.
Okay, because, he was at Fort Bliss and then deployed to Afghanistan out of there. But, again, I can't remember what year. It's been, I don't know, 10 years ago probably. When were you at Fort Bliss?
0708.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely before him being down there. Well, thank you for serving. God bless you. Now, what is your husband? You said your husband's a pilot?
He was a medic, and then he put in his flight school packet, got accepted. Then he was an Apache pilot.
Cool.
And then he got out in 2020, and he's a local realtor now.
That is really cool. Well, God bless y'all. Thank you for serving. And so you know why this is needed.
It has opened my eyes ever since I got out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and how long have you been with Operation Stand Down?
Started in August, so we're going on about 8 months.
Okay. All right. Then so you said it's opened your eyes. In what way?
So I'm a medic, so in the platoon sergeant, so I'm always about helping and sharing resources. Right. As a medic, behavioral health services are always big, and you don't always have to do those on post. You can go off post. Right. So I've been connected to the community in that way, but since getting out, just the homeless population, there's a large veteran population in all of our counties, and they all don't receive resources, but Austin P, we have veterans who go to school but live in their car because they can't afford a home.
Isn't that incredible?
I never thought of that. Those, even active duty families are living paycheck to paycheck who are hungry, and now we have veterans who are on fixed income. So it just opened my eyes to the needs that are out there, because you don't know it until you experience it, and then and then the resources are out there as well.
Okay. And so, Julie, how long have you been, Julie, right?
Yes.
We've met before, haven't we? Have you been in here before?
I have not.
Okay.
But you do look familiar.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of those things. But anyway, well, welcome. And Julie, what is your last name?
Bindler.
Bindler, and you're a
Bindler.
Bindler?
Mm-hmm.
And you're an Army spouse? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it Army?
It is.
Okay. You're Air Force, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna say, we got to get it right. You know, all that. What is the good natured kind of
Sibling rivalry.
Thank you. I could not get the word out. I couldn't get that. Well, we have it between our schools and everything too. You have all that little rivalry going on.
Yeah.
So, your husband, is he still serving?
He is. He's been in 27 years.
Oh,
This
wow.
is our retirement year.
Wow. So you're
Hopefully.
ready to do it too.
So ready.
So kind of pull that microphone right to you and talk right in the front of you if you don't mind.
How's that?
So that's much better. So tell me about where y'all been.
Well, he's been everywhere.
Alright.
He's been to Kuwait twice, Iraq twice, Cuba once.
Wow.
He's lived in Iowa. He's lived in he's
Yeah.
at Fort Knox now. So I have kept the home base here
God bless
because
you.
we have 7 kids, and it's just too
Wow.
hard to move that many around.
Well,
So
yeah, for sure.
we've stayed here, and he's lived here probably about 2 years in the last 15.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
it's a challenge. But
People just don't understand the what's required of military families. They just don't have a clue. They do not have a clue. I have a friend of mine who her husband served, and I have no idea how many deployments. I mean, just one right after another. They've got 3 kids. All 3 kids are serving. All 3 kids have joined. And so, I mean, I'm just like, man, they're just a rock star family to me. Are any of your kids going to serve, or are they serving?
currently, no.
Okay.
They may. We've got a couple that are teetering.
Yeah.
Our daughter did go through basic, but she got hurt during basic. So
Gotcha.
she had to take
That's
a
a
break,
lot.
and then she got married on us and
There
gave
you
us
go.
gave us a grandbaby.
Well,
so
there you go.
It's okay if she doesn't go back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You just follow your path and see where it goes, and sometimes it goes in a place you didn't really expect it to.
Yep.
So, how long have you been with Stand Down?
I've been with Stand Down a little over 2 years.
Okay. And what made you decide to go into to get involved?
So my journey started with homelessness in Davidson County. I actually worked for Mental Health Cooperative as an outreach specialist.
Okay.
And I went into the encampments with other groups and just shared resources and got people connected for mental health. Whatever we could take them, we would take them supplies, food, and you really get a sense of. I think that helped me connect the humanity
Right.
to homelessness. I mean, you see people out on the street, you don't know their story.
Right.
But when you actually sit and have a conversation with somebody, you get a chance to really see exactly what led to it. You know, it could have been a family loss, a job loss. Sometimes it is addiction issues. Sometimes it's just, not wanting to deal with reality. And so I was there for a few years, and then I came across Stand Down, and with my husband being a veteran, I really wanted to put my focus on veterans who were also had those same stories but had served and given quite a bit to the country, and I wanted to be able to serve them the way I had been able to serve.
You know, we're talking about that. You seem familiar to me. Or have you ever come up to the the Madison Church of Christ Benevolent Center there at Old Hickory Boulevard and Gallatin Road to get services and help for some of the homeless veterans? Because I worked there for a while. That's my church. And we deal with a lot of military homeless. There's, and then Patriots Place is there nearby. Are you familiar with Patriots Place? It's like an apartment complex there. So maybe we connected there or something. Because, some of the places that you mentioned, Mental Health Cooperative, and we've worked with them in cooperation to, help. We had so many military veterans come in that were homeless, like you said, and in the encampments and stuff. So maybe our paths crossed there. I don't know.
It could be.
Yeah.
Could be. And
So-
when it was the homeless division, before it was OHS and it was MHED,
Right.
we did a lot of things with them as well. They're at
Right.
at the Neely's Bend, Gallatin Road area.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, very definitely.
Yeah.
So I feel like our paths may have crossed
We've
there
crossed
at some point.
somewhere.
But I just admire the work you guys are doing. So is this full time for you guys now? Is this this is your
Absolutely.
job?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. So what does your day look like? So what,
Well,
she's like, uh-oh.
They're a little bit different. So I'm the deputy director over 2 programs. So I'm over outreach, and then the food insecurity program, our Operation Commissary. So my day looks a little bit different than Jamie. She's straight outreach. So I'll let her explain what her day in the 7 counties that she serves looks like.
7 counties. Which ones? Okay.
Which ones?
Yeah, which counties? She's like, okay, let me
I
look.
brought our map. So we're currently in 20 counties total, but we're expanding. But the Clarksville office, which you see on the map as a star, serves 7. That's a home base because we break up the map. Stewart, Montgomery, Houston, Humphreys, Dixon, and Cheatham, and Robertson.
Okay.
So today, after we leave here, I'm going to Dixon and then Stewart. So it's a 3-county hop for me today.
Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. And you said, where do you live?
Clarksville.
You're in Clarksville. So you're just all over. So that's why you got the little car out here.
I use their gas money.
There you go. Absolutely. So when you go to these different counties, what will be your task in the county? Are there people that you've been referred to that you're going to check on, or what's that look like?
All of that and more. So when I first started in August, the main things were the county health councils because multiple organizations from the counties go to those meetings.
Okay.
And that's the way to connect to other organizations and spread the word. This is what we are, what we do, and then we want to know what they do. And it's a constant referral. And then from there, we have Veterans Coalition meetings. Each county hopefully has one. Montgomery has one. Middle Tennessee, which is based out of Dixon, has one. And then Nashville, they meet at our office in Nashville. So those organizations are anyone that is a veteran or veteran organization or an organization that supports vets to get together. So any type of community meeting. And then the VSOs, because they refer a lot. I connect to the VA senior centers, anyone that can send a referral. But also I scroll Facebook and find events to show up to, whether it's veteran coffee calls, the VFWs,
Right.
anywhere I can show up to possibly come across a vet, I show up. So invite me over and we'll come and talk and meet up.
Mm-hmm. There's so many veterans that have issues that they just are not processing through. And I mean, we've seen that. I've had conversations that one of my most powerful memories when I was at the Benevolent Center was a homeless vet who had some medical issues. And I remember the first time I met him, it had been his birthday that weekend. And the only person in his family that ever remembered his birthday had passed away in the previous year. And he was just weeping. He has since passed because he had some heart issues and was in and out of the hospital. But when he was not in the hospital, he was on the street, But it was just one of those things that just got you, So many of them, there's so many veterans that they come back and maybe they don't have much family and they have very little contact. They just don't feel like they have anybody. And and people just don't, it just breaks my heart where they've given so much and then they come back and they have so little. It's just heartbreaking, and I just admire the work you're doing. Any particular stories you guys want to share about how you've been able to really have a big impact where, you found somebody on the street and been able to get them in a house? I mean, is there anything that you can share? I know privacy and things, but anything that you're like, oh, I got to tell this, anything like that?
I have a couple that stand out to me. It's crazy. So they were in Nashville and Davidson County, and when the housing boom kind of happened,
Right.
Their property was sold out from under them, and they had
Right.
3 days to move.
Yeah.
Well, he's a disabled veteran, and his wife has disabilities as well, and so they wound up at the Mission. Of course, at the Mission, they're not together, so he's at the men's and she's at the women's. So he would leave every morning and he would go and get her and they would spend the day together, and then he would take her back to the Mission and then he would go back. When they come into our office, I just remember meeting them. They have those big personalities. He has that big laugh, that he's just an amazing human being. And he was always very, God's going to do it. God's got it. He's going to fix it. So when they came in, obviously I was a housing case manager at the time. And when they come into the service center, that's one of the things that we really try is to make that a community room. They get coffee, they talk, they watch TV, they're with other veterans, they're just kind of hanging out. And then I met with them, and through our SSVF program, we were able to get them in emergency housing right before Christmas. Like it was the week before Christmas. We got them in their apartment. We got them food. We got them all of their, everything that they can even got them a little Christmas tree. We got them gifts for each other, and it was the most amazing. And then right after the holidays, one of my favorite landlords, she's just an amazing person in Madison. She was able to get me a unit, and we were able to get them moved in right after the new year, and they've been there ever since.
That's wonderful.
They've actually been highlighted in our Heroes Breakfast that we do every year.
That is so
They're
cool.
one of our couples that are in the video.
I love it. And people don't realize that happens so often where property they're renting, everything's fine, but because of the property's worth so much, and they're like, "Hey, we've sold it. I'm sorry, but you got to move." And
they don't even have time. You have to have the deposits. You have to have all of these things. And you're not giving them time to even come up with enough money for move-in costs.
Well, and what just strikes me about this couple that you're describing is their humble heart, that they're like, okay, we don't like this, but there is a resource. We can stay here. You go, and that's something that we had to fight against so often, is getting people to utilize the resources were there, even though you didn't like it. I had so many homeless people that we'd have a conversation with, and it's like, you do not have to stay on the street. We can get you in at the shelter, but I don't like this. But to have the humble heart to be like, okay, God's got it. We're going to do whatever we got to do. How long were they in the shelter? Do you know at the mission?
They were there about 3 months before
Wow.
he found us.
Wow.
So, and then we have VA caseworkers at the mission, and they told him about Stand Down, and he just popped right over on a bus, and
God bless him.
my life has not been the same since.
What you said about finding you.
Yeah.
That's what this is about, guys. That's why we have the VSO office. That's why we have, Gwen, Abigail, Scott come in once a month. How many people just don't even know of the resources that are out there for veterans? And we talk, all the time. We're going to be having our Vietnam Vets Day, and we talk about the Orange Heart medals and all the things that happen with Agent Orange. So many of our Vietnam vets that are still not getting the care that they need to get and the benefits that they should be getting because of their exposure. They came home wounded. And so they don't know about that. And it blows my mind because we talk so much about it. How can they not know? But the very idea that here this, for 3 months, they didn't even know y'all were there.
And that's Davidson County. We are in. That's our main office.
That's right there. And they just are not aware.
Yeah.
And so what else can we do to get the word out then? I mean, what do we need to do? It's just like you were saying, Jeremy, that invite me, let me come do all the things. And, have y'all, we're going to have our recovery. Are you going to be at the Recovery Fest this year?
I was there last year.
Okay, you were there last year. Scott's not on mic, but I'm talking about our Recovery Fest that we had for the last 2 years, and I don't know what the date is again. I'm actually on the Recovery Court board, but I feel like I haven't been to a meeting in forever, so I'm not sure what the date is for our Recovery Fest. But you were there last year. Maybe you get the Stand Down there as well. We'll get you all those dates, and maybe somebody will put it up in comments. But we'll have that. It's in the heat of summer. I know that because it's a warm time, because I remember it's usually warm, but we'll have that at the fairgrounds if maybe y'all can come out and make sure people know about it. But that's some place that is just a good place just to share a resource. And have y'all connected with United Way?
Yes.
Because, the 211 number is something where they're always checking to people call. We give that number out, 211, all the time to make sure that people are aware of all the different services. But
that's one of the reasons that we do go to the health councils, but we also go to all career fairs, any resource events, anything where there's going to be a veteran, even if it's just one veteran coming through, we'll make a table. We go to the Austin P basketball games, MTSU, for Veterans Days, anything that has a salute to service. Pretty much anything that you want us to table, we'll bring a table.
Okay. Well, very good. We have that football game every year that's for the Carol Pitts thing. We had a couple of soldiers, one from Springfield, one from Greenbrier, that died in Vietnam, and we come together and have a football game every year in honor of them. That would be a thing. There's always veterans there that present the trophy to Springfield. We can't seem to win that game, but But anyway, but nonetheless, that would be a really good event. And I just, the different ones are, and two, are y'all going to be at our Vietnam Vets Day that they do over at Memorial Gardens coming up?
What day
'Cause
is
that's,
that?
it's the last weekend in March.
Yeah, I'll make
So
sure
we'll
they know about
yeah,
it.
pull that microphone over and talk to me, Scott. But so go ahead and tell them about that.
So the Orange Heart Medal Foundation is going to have their annual. They help raise funds. I know that King Gamble provided thousands of Orange Heart medals at no cost to veterans around the United States, and so some of that goes to help reimburse that effort. And so on the 28th of March, there's going to be a Jeep poker run, and there's going to be 5 stations or so set up around the county. I think we're going to be the last stop at the Robertson County Plaza.
Right.
Our office, the Veteran Service Office, will have a table set up just for our usual information purposes, but they're also going to have another table set up for the poker side. And you make your best hand, you drive to each of these places and they make their best poker hand. Afterwards, it's going to finish at Springfield Memorial Gardens. Now, per Ken Gamble, I'm going to put his name out there, he had mentioned at the VFW meeting that the Director of Veterans Affairs, who's appointed by the President, is going to attend, has been invited and accepted the invitation to attend this event on Saturday. So that's going to be kind of cool.
Yeah,
if he's able to show
sure.
up. But on the 27th, which is the day prior, from 4 to 6, just like we did last year at the Holiday Inn there in Springfield, we'll do the meet and greet, and then afterwards go across to the memorial itself, and they'll do the reading of all the names to include the new names on the cenotaphs that were added. So that'll be held on the 27th on Friday, and on the 28th will be the 5K fun run, which I don't consider fun anymore.
I don't run either, but I'll walk. But I don't run.
So they're gonna have some things. They all start at Springfield Memorial Gardens.
Okay.
So,
but yeah, that's our big event coming up, and again, it's the 27th and 28th. And I talked to Lee Marie. I'm planning. I will be there this year. I couldn't be there on Saturday, but we'll be there. We're going to bring some kids out to read the names on the that evening on Friday. And then Saturday, the 28th, we'll be there for, all the presentations and just remembering the Vietnam vets. Everybody knows, very close to my heart. I lost a very good friend when I was a little girl in Vietnam, and never forgot it. It's just imprinted on my heart, and that's why I've always been such a patriot, is because of him and his sacrifice. And I just love our Vietnam vets. Love all of our veterans. I've got a veteran in the family now. So love all of our veterans, but just can't say enough about any opportunity that you have to honor our veterans. Go and do it. And I love hearing what you guys are doing. Anything, I need to do a break, and let's kind of reset and see where we want to go. Do y'all have maybe if there's some events coming up you want to promote, anything specific that you want to point people to, we can cover that. We got another half hour here, and I know you probably have some other events you might need to cover. Anything else from the office? Lee Marie may even pop in here because she's on the board for the Orange Heart Medal. So anything like that we need to talk about, y'all kind of get in your head where you want to go next. And let me go ahead and talk about our longest running full-time sponsor, Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. Anything that you're looking for in the real estate community, they are perfectly suited to help you out, guys. They are, and I think Rebecca right now is she's trying to get over, she did get over 1,000 followers. She's right there. She was trying to push it up to try to get her followers. Go to their pages. When we talk about the different social media pages, Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty, Barry Richards, Exit Prime Realty, LaVern at U-Turn LaVern Vivio, and WSIX Radio 1100. Follow us, because when you do, that helps the algorithm and gets our messages out more and more. And the things that we have to share, man, it's all about Robertson County and in our surrounding counties in this area. And it's good information that we want to share with you. Now, if you're looking to get involved, anything to do with real estate. If you're buying, if you're selling, if you want to be a realtor, go and talk to Barry and Rebecca. You will be so impressed with them. They would help you and mentor you into the industry if that's what you're wanting to do. Barry says he will talk you out of it if it's not a good fit for you, though. So do keep that in mind. But they are, of course, specializing in Robertson County properties. They're in Robertson County up in Cross Plains, been here for 30 years. But they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky, because like myself, they're from Kentucky. And Rebecca's latest listing is in Franklin, Kentucky. They have got an open house on Sunday, next Sunday, March 1st from 1 to 4 p.m. up in Franklin, Kentucky. And they've got just a beautiful little tour and some drone footage and all that they've put up for this home. And I guarantee you that was all done by Barry, because he is a marketer. He came out of a media marketing career. He was a media marketing vice president for 17 years and then went full-time with real estate, and he brings all that expertise to the table. So if you're selling property, you can do no better than Barry and Rebecca. I'm looking at the presentation right now for this Franklin property. Beautiful home, ready to go. And if you would like to live across the state line to, get those tax breaks, different things like that, it's a little bit more affordable. Keep in mind that you've got to have a broker that can broker deals in Kentucky. And the broker that Rebecca works with out of her White House office can still broker deals in Kentucky. You got to make sure that's a thing, because the laws have changed. But Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty, you can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com, or you can just give them a call. 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. That's Rebecca's number, or just change the last 4 digits to 7424, and you'll get Barry and Rebecca Richards. As he says, just Google us and you'll find them. And you'll find them at the Open Door Pregnancy Resource Center dinner next Monday night. They'll be sitting at my table. And you'll find them at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival, which I get to host every year. And they're out and about all over the place. And one thing about the Bluegrass Festival, Tennessee, the jug band's coming to the Bluegrass Festival this year, and so we're super excited about that. That announcement was made the other day, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. They are ones that we've had at the Bluegrass Festival on multiple occasions, but the Tennessee Mafia Jug Band, will be there. That has been announced. That's May 15th through the 16th. So you're going to be there, and you'll see Barry and Rebecca there as well. So back to it here. All right, ladies, let's come back around. Where do we want to go? What have you got that you want to share with everybody?
Well, I think the main thing that we want to share is just what Operation Standout offers.
Okay.
Our 3 C's, which is connection, crisis, and careers.
Okay.
So basically, we are a one-stop shop for veterans.
Okay.
We start with connection. We have outreach. And with outreach, we also have our Operation Commissary, which is our food insecurity program.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go out anywhere. We can send Jamie. We have 2 other outreach coordinators right now, plus an expansion team. We can send her anywhere for any veteran who cannot travel. And we can work on getting them registered in services and check on their food issues. And we also do well checks that way. If a veteran, I'll let you tell about the veteran who had the ramp.
Oh, he's a fun one. I got connected the VA. I know a couple of the social workers at the Clarksville VA, and they sent me an email saying I have a veteran who could use food. It was back end of November, early December. We got that little bit of frost. He has a wheelchair ramp, and he slipped going down the ramp and hurt his ankle. He's got a little car, and his wheelchair is too big to fit in the car. So he needs to walk to get into the grocery store, and then maybe he could use the grocery scooter.
Right.
But he still needs to walk. So I said, no problem. I got a food bag, which I brought examples of our food bags. They're over on the corner.
Okay.
And I went over, and he was just funny. He was a Vietnam vet. I took him a food bag just because he can't walk due to his injury. And he used to be in a band and everything. So he's got his guitars lined up. He's playing me music that he did. He told me what brought him to Clarksville, which is the old, is it the Beatles? The Train to Clarksville song, even though it's not about Clarksville, Tennessee.
Monkeys,
but the Monkeys.
Yeah,
but
to Clarksville, I think that's the Monkeys.
It's a genre. But he was But then I gave resources. Did you know this? Did you know this? And he's like, no, I didn't. I was like, well, sign up, So I get to Gavin and, say of other resources. So I went and registered because once you sign up for our food delivery, I can bring you a food bag if you can't make it. But then once signed up, we deliver a food bag once a month to the doorstep for every member of the family.
Oh, wow.
Most food banks, you have to go to them. And from what we've discovered, they either don't have transportation, have medical issues they can't drive, or they're a one-car family. So let's bring you food once a month.
Yeah.
And once signed up, if there's any children in the home, they get a gift card to Walmart for the perishable food. And it's not always the parent that is the veteran. We have a lot of grandparents taking care of grandchildren.
Oh, yeah.
If there's a veteran in the home, they can sign up. So we are connecting with the schools. That's an initiative of mine. If they're on the fuel program or backpack program, whatever the schools in each county calls it, if we know there's a veteran in the home, let us help with the food. So we're trying to get the word out to connect in that way.
Okay. So you said you had a food bag to show us as a sample?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You want to do that? If you don't mind grabbing it, I'm just kind of curious as to what. Well, because we do these, we call them go bags at church and stuff, and so I'm always interested to compare and see ideas and things like that. So you get both of these.
No, the red is a ready-eat bag. These are the ones that either they don't have access to
That's
a
homeless,
stove or
probably.
they're homeless.
That's
yes.
homeless. That's what we call go bags at church.
Yes.
So the red one, you got
Pop tops.
Yeah, you've got like a Star-Kissed tuna and crackers. You've got like the instant ramen because they'll do those over the fire.
Anything you really don't
pack 'em
have
up.
to cook.
Anything, anything that you can just really
Chips,
quickly,
crackers.
chips and crackers and probably some water.
High proteins. We try and do heavier, like the raviolis. We do the heavier calories.
Yep.
So that they-
Anything that you can pop a top on and eat right out of the can.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Yeah.
Now, this bag is a Haas. It's about 40 pounds of non-perishables. It has canned
Turn
food.
that microphone to you so as you're talking there.
It's got canned food, pasta, rice, peanut butter,
Yeah.
things you may have to
Yeah.
cook on a stovetop or jet boil or something. But it's about 40 pounds.
Okay.
And once signed up, if you're a family of 4, all 4 of you's getting this bag
So you're going to have 4 of those go in.
delivered to their house. And if there's minors in the home, each child will get the additional gift card,
Okay.
and stuff like that. And it's for, maybe just a couple months while you need to get back on your
Sure.
feet. And then we have people who's on the program for a while.
Yeah.
So it's no shame. Let us just boost your pantry up a bit.
Yeah.
We started a 6-month enrollment, and then we just kind of go from there. But we
Yeah.
have a few surviving spouses. They're one's in her 90s. We're not cutting her off the food program.
No.
So, that is the one program that we can do
Yeah.
for surviving spouses.
I love it.
Is the food program.
I love it. I love it. That's wonderful.
And
Go ahead.
sorry. Each of our service centers, which is Columbia, Clarksville, Nashville, they can walk in off the street, sign up today to get a bag while waiting for delivery.
Okay.
Or I can drive, but like I said, I could be in a different county. We have these bags, both of them staged in each county. Here in Robertson County, you can go see Scott at the VSO office and get one.
Okay. I did not know that. See, look at all this stuff we're learning. That is amazing. I'm going to turn this around to get it out of your pretty little face there. And so people can kind of see it here you can put it right there. It'll be right there. I think that'll work. But that just kind of shows people what you guys have got going. And I love that you have the red bag version and the purple bag version. And those red bags, as she was just saying, as Jamie was saying, no, Julie was saying, Julie and Jamie.
The J's.
Yeah,
J's.
we're interchangeable at this
JJ.
point. It's fine.
So funny. But as Julie was saying, that you've got the red bags or the purple bags. So if I'm at out somewhere and I hear of somebody, could I come by and get one and take it to somebody?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Scott's saying that if I knew of somebody that was homeless I love that we have the little food boxes all over town now, that so many churches, I know that they put one out at Open Door, Pregnancy and Resource Center. So many have got those boxes where you can go and get some Vienna sausages, you can get some crackers, you can get something, right? And I love that they have those, but again, you want something when it's not convenient maybe to walk over to the church that has that. And, and a lot of people are in their campsites and different things like that. So that's a good thing to know. That pull that microphone to them and remind them of the hours of the VSO, because let's make sure everybody knows that.
So the Veteran Services, we're at 502 8th Avenue East, which is the Robertson County Plaza. It's just across from the main, it used to be the old hospital where we used to be. We're Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30. If typically we do walk-ins on Wednesdays, if veterans don't want to commit to an appointment. I usually recommend appointments because sometimes I like that dedicated time to spend with a veteran or a spouse or a family member, talking about different options. What can we do? This is maybe not the best route. And so I like that time versus on a Wednesday. I might be stacked up a little bit,
Right.
People waiting. But if you call us Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30, if it's after hours and you call at office, leave a voice message. I promise you, if you leave a voice message, someone's going to get back with you. And Gwen's really good about giving Abigail and I both our messages and kind of splitting them up. But and if you can't come see us, we'll come see you. Abigail's done some home visits. I certainly do home visits. As you hopefully already know, it doesn't matter to me if you're in county, out of county. Julie and I were talking out in the front before we started. My father, Vietnam veteran, heart disease, he died in 2015, was never getting any benefits. We didn't know. And so that's why I personally do what I do as a county employee. And Billy's a great boss. He's our county mayor. He's my boss. He's excellent with just getting us the resources, making sure we have the things we need to allow us to do what we're able to do. So to me, this is a lot about getting the information out there. Sometimes there can be limited resources. Here in Robertson, when I started having homeless veterans come in, I realized, okay, we have a few out here, but not a lot. My father's house was the cold shelter, more or less. And if it's summertime, we're very limited. And so that's when I learned to reach out to Stand Down. And I'm trying to find out always what are my resources. If it's something that we can assist with, let me find someone who can. There are times when I'll give someone a phone number, but usually if I can, I'll try to do a warm handoff. I'll make the phone call ahead of time, like I did yesterday, one of my veterans for mental health counseling. I called the facility, the vet center, and said, hey, this is going on, and gave them the background. And so they're going to reach out to him today. I would much rather do that because sometimes, veterans, believe it or not, some of us are a little stubborn. And
No.
I'm good. And my guy left the office yesterday, smiling, Vietnam veteran. I'm good. And I know in my heart he's not good. So I want to do what I can to put veterans in touch with, resources. And you mentioned in the beginning, veterans came back wounded and with problems, but I think veterans interact with veterans better. So it's not, let me just plug you into some counseling, but that's what the vet center is good about doing is give me his background. When did he serve, deployments, where he served, etc. And they try to put them with sometimes the best counselor. And so if I can be involved or have a piece of that, making sure the veteran gets in touch with an appropriate resource and following up. We have 4,100 veterans in Robertson County, and there's 2 service officers. And so it can be very busy. We stay busy, but I think it's something, this is not something that I have to do. I feel like it's something that I get to do. Right. So I'm blessed in that regard to be able to just to help veterans, and this is part of it.
I love it. There's so much that is out there that so many are just not aware of. And again, I just appreciate you guys coming in once a month just to remind people of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
and what is available. And I mean, what an extraordinary organization Operation Stand Down is. When were you not aware of it for a while? And you said once you found out you could reach out to them. When did y'all start working together?
I kind of on the back end of Terry Wilson. He was our previous
Right.
director. We started. We went to tour the Stand Down in Nashville. And I think it was a brand new place. They have under the Veteran Service Office is within that same building, but I think they've been working remote a lot. But they do come into the office. They do home visits just like we do. And so we toured their food pantry. You know, we toured the building,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, it's amazing. I think it's incredibly interesting to hear what they do. And I like that they'll come to you. You know, sometimes veterans, whether it's transportation or busy or not, that maybe they're older, we'll come see you. You know, we do what we can, and I try to keep them on the front of a resource. You know, when different veterans come in and different things, like I said earlier, we may not be able to help right away, and the VA is going to take time. So what can we do to get you taken care of right now? But they're also good with following up with veterans, and I don't think they just get them in housing. I know that I've brought veterans down to some housing in Nashville, the gentleman, and they actually help line him up with employment, with work. So it's not, here you go. It's, let me help you up. You know, let's work this together, not a handout. So that's what I saw when I brought my veteran downtown to Nashville. So it's this kind of monthly show is what I'd like to do more of. I absolutely love to talk with veterans about benefits and different things like that. That's my perspective. You know, we're gonna have another gentleman coming in next week or next month with us. You know, he specializes in VA loans.
Oh, great.
He told me things I didn't know about.
Right.
Because I would love to have 5 acres, and that's quiet.
Yeah.
You know, Sumner County and Hendersonville is exploded.
Busy. Yeah.
So, and I missed the way it was 10 years ago when it was quiet.
Yeah.
We don't have that anymore. So, so we'll bring him in next month. Just kind of mix it up a little bit.
Yeah. So here you are in the industry, you work in it, and you're like, I didn't know that I could have access to that as a veteran. So he's telling
Correct.
you about it. See, there's so much out there. The resources that are available, we have just a plethora of things, but it's making sure people are aware. And I love that. I love that y'all doing that. I'm just interested in that VA loan thing you're talking about, and then just all that y'all are talking about, the original story you told about making him aware of what was available. It's just
I mean, once we connect to them, then we can start addressing their crisis.
Yeah.
We have the SSVF program where we provide
is that?
That's supportive services for veteran families.
Okay.
And it's a VA funded grant to where we can take a family in. They get a case manager. We help them find permanent housing, their choice. We don't put them in a specific area. They get to choose where they want to go.
Right.
Then we help them with security deposit and their first month's rent. We pay their utility deposits, get all their utilities on. We typically order them furniture, get them a brand new bed.
Wow.
And that's just through that program. And then they
That's
can
so
be in
cool.
the program anywhere from 180 days. And then it re-enrolls every 180 as they need it.
Well, you do a needs assessment, and you go,
Yes.
okay, so what are we doing? How are we doing? Have you found work? What can we do to help you find work? And it's that next step. I love that follow-up. I mean, that's incredible because so many, and I just love that you're getting the funding to do this because so many of the nonprofits out there, and this is the thing that we ran into. Like I said, I was working with the Benevolent Center. I was employed by the church. And this guy that gets on here with me every day, Lawrence P. Rainey, Paul Rainey, him and his wife, they're two of the busiest retired people I know. He's a 41-year retired Metro fireman. and they go in and volunteer and do Meals on Wheels and do all the things as a benevolent center. But we have, as a benevolent center, we have the things that we can do. We can do food and clothing, but housing, we don't have we just don't, we can't facilitate it. The expense, all of the things, because it just gets overwhelming. And being able, I need a few of these cards that I can take to them, because I will see some of these people that I'm talking about. I'll see Paul and Mary tonight, and then our friend Julie, she's down there volunteering all the time. And I can give them these cards to make sure they're aware of it, because we get so many veterans that come in that just absolutely break our hearts. And they'll be calling y'all. They'll be calling y'all, because I wasn't aware. I've heard y'all talk about Stand Down, but I had no idea that y'all had such an expansive program. I mean, it's amazing.
We also have a homeless prevention. So if they're renting, and say a veteran loses his job, you know, we can connect with that landlord and negotiate with them to help get their rent caught up and be able to keep them in their home.
That's
So
amazing.
we have a lot of different programs. Once they're in services, and you need to come and visit again, because the VSOs are in house now. They have 4 offices where we have a VSO in every day.
In Nashville?
In Nashville.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. It was our building is a remodeled Piggly Wiggly, and you can't tell unless you
Where
go
is it?
into the food program. It's at 12th and Edge Hill.
12th and Edge Hill. I'm trying to think, because I know the area pretty well.
Yeah, 1125 12th Avenue.
Okay. All right. Very good. That's cool.
It's a beautiful facility, and I mean, we've had we love to give tours.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to pop in there and get a tour. Maybe, you know, I'll definitely slide that over there. Go ahead. Go ahead. Jamie's got something to say.
Well, you mentioned you wanted to take some cards, and I went to a senior center activities fair, and I met someone there. The very next day, I went to the Stewart County Health Council. He's like, Jamie, I need more cards. I was driving down the street in Clarksville past our Walmart, and that corner right there on Wilma Rudolph is usually typical corner where you'll see homeless people there. And he said they had duffel bags. I pulled over and talked to them, and they were a trio of military.
Wow.
I didn't have any of your cards to give out. So I just met this person yesterday. So many people say, I need more cards, so when I'm driving around, I can give them out. And we connect with the law enforcement and stuff too. That way, the firefighters, if they're out on patrol and they come across someone, you know, they may need to do what they need to do under their jurisdiction, but they know of a resource to give out as well.
Where can we get some more cards?
I have them in my bag.
Okay. You can give me some then.
Yes, ma'am.
And, you know, and I'll tell you, do you have them? Do the local law enforcement here have them?
I am connected with the Robertson County Sheriff's Office, maybe not Springfield in particular, but the county. I see Lieutenant
Jessica.
Holmes.
Well, Jessica, she would be one. She's like the public informations person. She comes in here all the time. So Jessica,
That would be a good resource. At the county, Lieutenant Holmes on the police side, she has a community meeting that I go to that is great, and then the jail side as well. Because if any veteran is incarcerated, we try to meet with them before they get out to see what their needs are. Maybe they do have a home, but they've lost their job, they've lost their VA benefits while they were in jail, or maybe they are homeless. We can work with them prior to getting out on what their needs are, and so when they do get out, we already have a plan in place.
So what do you have as far as, this is a question, the rehab side of it? You know, if you do have somebody that's in addiction, do y'all have some resources to get them into some recovery houses or into recovery programs, things like that? Because, you know, very often it's something that maybe, that's one thing about the military. It can be a wild bunch when you're in and deployed. And some of the stories I've heard from my son, I'm like, what? Don't even tell me, you know, that kind of thing. And you can get addicted. You can start into something. Maybe you never drank, and then you get in there with your buddies, you start drinking, and oh my gosh, I'm an alcoholic. And you never even thought of, you know, all those kinds of things. Do you have those kinds of programs available?
We specifically don't, but we have resources that do.
That you can plug them into?
We can plug them into for free rehab, get them clean, and then come back to us for their housing need. So it is a multi-organization resource approach.
We also have a transitional housing program in Nashville where we have a 42-bed facility. We are actually the only organization that has 9 beds for females. They're 4 separate wings, and we do have one wing specifically for female veterans. But once they go through, say they are assessed and they need a rehabilitation, then we can get them in RTTP in Murfreesboro, get them through the program, and then they can transition into our transitional housing program and have a case manager there, as well as having a case manager for SSVF to be able to get them permanently housed.
So the facility you said that has beds for females, how long can they stay there? Is that for people in rehab?
No, that's for once they come out of rehab. It's a transitional housing. So it's kind of like some have bridge beds. It's only 90 days, and they work with 2 case managers. And then we also have SIF beds where they might need longer. I mean, we've had some who were homeless for 6-7 years. They need more time to decompress and get back acclimated. So it's a post. So we connect them, our VSOs, and we get them connected to the rehab services, and then that's an availability to them and when they come out.
Because see, that was the gentleman that I mentioned that since passed that I had an encounter with. He had a heart problem. He would be in the hospital for an extended period. He would dry out. He'd come out. Next thing you know, he's throwing it back again, and then that leads to the heart. You know, he says it's just like cyclical. I mean, it's just one thing right after another. You know, they'd get dry out, he'd get healthy again, and then back to it, and he's back in the hospital and drying out. I mean, it was just constant. And so, I mean, it's just amazing that y'all have these resources. I mean, what are we missing? We've got about 4 minutes here. I don't want to anything that we haven't mentioned that we need to mention. Do you have will you have a stack of cards if they don't meet up with? If they can't connect with Jamie today, give him a stack. So if anybody wants to go by the VSO and pick up some cards, Scott will have them or Gwen will have them. So, but I'm going to definitely get some today to put at our benevolence center up at church. So anything else we're missing?
So we do have the career side as well.
Okay.
So if you have someone who needs help with resumes, if they're transitioning out of the military, we also have a career specialist. And we have Career Recon coming up in April, and that's a 2-week course where Belmont University comes in.
Oh, wow.
And we have leaders in the community, and they can sign up for that. Jamie was part of our Career Recon in 2024, so she can tell you a little bit about the career services.
So you got involved with them to help you with your career path?
I did. I
That's
retired April 1st, 2025, and I attended Career Recon in their fall class in September of 24. We all, no matter what branch you're in, you have to go through a transition course to teach you on what's on the outside and benefits that you have, but they don't really go in depth. So I signed up, and by the time I've left, I was able to connect with 75 or more people that live in the Middle Tennessee area that I still see on a daily basis, either as a friend or they're a resource that I can refer the veterans I connect with to. And they just give you a different mindset on entering the workforce. They went over your LinkedIn profile, interview coaching. We got a free hour with an interview coach if you had a job interview coming up. Speed coaching in a way, I think speed dating, but these are different organizations that reviewed your resume and said, you know, what do you want to be when you grow up? And this is what I think you'd be good at. And it's a way to pass off your business card to a manager. I really got something out of it. It helped my transition because I am still living in this area, so I still get to connect with them. It helped me cross over to the civilian life because it is hard to let go of the military, and it provides that community that we thrive on. And I want to continue passing that off to the vets that we meet.
That's great. I love that you have that firsthand experience too. That is so cool. I thank y'all for coming, and y'all come anytime, you know, bring them back and, you know, maybe make this, you know, maybe once every 6 months or so, you know, come by and talk to us, and anything we can do to help, let us know. And we definitely need to get you to Recovery Fest. I think that'd be great. So yeah, why don't you give the address and phone number? Thank you, Scott. He's giving it. How can they get in touch with you? It's on the cards, but you do want, which one do you want to give out here? You can give them all out if you want. So
pretty much. So the main website is OSDTN, which stands for Operation Stand Down, TNTennessee.org. Robertson County is served by the Clarksville office because 31 counties, they can't be everywhere. Right. So we serve the Clarksville serves 7 of them, so Robertson County is the Clarksville location. However, if they reach out to any of these phone numbers, someone there will direct them to the correct location. So honestly, it doesn't hurt which one as long as they reach out. And then the biggest thing is just sharing. It takes one to know one vet to tell someone else, like, hey, there is an organization out there. And even if you don't know the resource they need, if they're a veteran, I get emails all the time or phone calls saying, hey, I have a vet in need, can you help them? And we may not be able to, but by going to all these community meetings, I've met someone who may be able to.
Right.
So it keeps those communication and relationships going.
I love it. And the Clarksville office is at 115 North 3rd Street in Clarksville. That's 115 North 3rd Street in Clarksville. And the Clarksville number is 931-896-2184. That's again 931-896-2184. That website again, www.osdtn.org, which is OperationStandDownTennessee.org, abbreviated OSDTN.org. So that can connect you just in case somebody's wanting to write the number down. And Scott's going to have cards.
Yep.
So,
and there's
there you go.
Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn as well. So we're all over the place.
Just look for Operation Stand Down, and we're a minute over, and Lee Marie is chomping at the bit to get in here and take care of the Go Show. So stick around, guys. We got another full hour of local programming right here on 1100 WSGI. Thank you again for joining us. I hope you'll stick around and be here tomorrow. We'll be talking to the Chamber and United Way. God bless you. Have a great day.